States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, the Moines County Board of Supervisors, Tuesday, August 27th, 2024. Are there any changes to the tentative agenda? I have none. We have an agenda. Department heads and elected officials. Sarah Doty, Des Moines County Auditor.
Good morning. So Monday is a holiday, so if we could please make sure we have all of our payroll entered by Friday, and then get your weekend people put in first thing on Tuesday morning so Sue can get payroll going. I would appreciate that. Big thank you to Rodney and his team. I'm sure he's tired of hearing from me by now. He's done quite a bit in my office the last couple of weeks or so. Absentee voting is still going on for the special election that is September 10th here in the office. And today is the first day to accept absentee ballot request forms for the general election. And those will start being mailed out on October 16th. That's all I have for now.
Thanks, Sarah.
You're welcome.
Colin Durst, IT.
Good morning. Nothing really new to report, just getting busy.
Thanks, Colin.
Yep.
Kevin Gundany, Des Moines County Sheriff.
Good morning. Things are going well for us. Plenty of projects going on, nothing really of major note for the board, but the radio and console project, that's all moving forward. We had the Rotary Touch-a-Truck event and then Mediapolis Town and Country Days this weekend, so that kept everybody pretty busy. Both great events, went really well. At the jail, we were at 104 this morning. And I think to what Lisa's spoken to over the last couple months of some of the flow through the courts, we're kind of feeling that. We usually get some relief on a week-to-week basis of certain number of inmates or trials being moved through and moving on to sentencing, and we just haven't really been finding that weekly as much as we had. So hopefully we can work through that process and get those numbers down. It's not really an intake situation. It's more of just the flow through the courts is the way it appears right now. That, and of course mental health is always a situation where we're waiting on those assessments to make it through so they can go to trial or if they can stand trial. But that's becoming a little bit difficult too. We have several inmates that we're waiting on those decisions on. So
How many out of county?
27 this morning. And that's obviously well over what our planned budget is. That we haven't been near that average. We've been closer to like 16, 17 a day so far this fiscal year, but that's high. So hopefully we'll see that soften. We've got two going to prison in the next day or two, 4 on the wait list for the halfway house. Hopefully we can see those numbers soften, but just need to see some flow.
You know, you talked about the parade. I seen you there. I kinda like, these old, you had that boat, and all these ships always had that dragon or something on front. I thought tanks looked pretty good up there.
Yeah, so that was Luna this time.
Was that Luna?
Yes. So they kind of rotate. I think Dylan has liked finding some relief with our second dog, because that's kind of what our go-to is it's worked really well to go out there and support these events. We bring our boat and put several of us in there and put Luna or Tank up front, and it works out really well. It kind of represents the sheriff's office in a good way. So, but yeah, that was Luna this time, and it always looks neat. We always get really good feedback on that. So,
Thank you, Sheriff.
yeah.
Rodney Bleasner, Maintenance Director.
Good morning. Just really busy, but nothing new to report.
Thank you, Rodney. Sharon Glasser, Land Use.
Pretty much the same thing. Last week was really busy. We had quite a few land use permits and things. Well, mostly stuff that we'd spoken with them before, but they all like to come in on Fridays to submit. So we've had several there. Nothing major. We do have a minor subdivision out for review now, and I expect either next week or the following week we might be ready to move forward on that subdivision with there was the fencing issue, getting the fencing signature that as far as I can tell, that's been resolved. I'm just waiting on them to follow up with the documentation. So apart from that, I don't have anything to report.
Thank you, Sharon. Chris Lee, Conservation Director.
Just gearing up for the big holiday weekend. Looks like the weather's gonna break. It's gonna be a nice weekend for folks to be out, so we're expecting good crowds in our parks. This is kind of the last big hoorah for the summer. We'll still fill up Big Hollow for the Halloween event and probably some other times throughout the year, but this is kind of the last big one for the other parks. I'll be missing next week's board meeting, doing some training with the Burlington Fire Department on wildland fire. And we've had several instances now where there's been wildfires break out, not the least of which that one that was down in Black Hawk Bottom Sportsman's Club area. But we've had, I don't know, a couple of different times over the last couple of years where fires somehow managed to get on some of our wildlife areas. And that's, with the way things are changing, that's likely to be more. And so they reached out to me and said, hey, can we get some training with you so that when this stuff happens, we're both of our departments are a little bit better prepared to work together. So I'll be training with them 3 mornings next week. And then the week after that, maybe I think that's the 10th, I'll present our annual report. I'm gonna present that at our board meeting next week, and then I'll bring that here. It'll just be a short, it won't be like Brian's, I promise. I'll only need about 2.5 hours instead of 3 or 4.
It's the walk in the park.
It's a small petite, right? So if there's not a whole lot going on that meeting of the 10th, I'd like to be on the agenda for that.
Thank you, Chris. Janelle Nally-Longquist, Des Moines County Treasurer.
Good morning. Well, as most everybody is aware, the tax statements went out. They went out on Thursday, August 15th. I'm sorry, I apologize for not being in the meeting last week, but I had DOT in the office to install some multi-factor on all the computers. But, yeah, we're keeping busy with the mail and everyone coming in to pay those taxes. Sorry.
I've heard from 3 people. They said that their residential taxes have gone down. They thanked me. I said, no. I said, we left our levy the same. I said, that's the rollback. Talking that went back. So, thank you, Janelle.
You're welcome.
Ken Heineman, Mental Health Agency of Southeast Iowa.
Good morning. I have sent out an email to May Hinchton and to Lori Elam. They're the 2 people that are CEOs that are gonna be responding to the RFP to try and become the ASO for this new behavioral health district that Des Moines County's in. So
Which region are they in now?
they're in
I was in Des Moines when you had the,
Scott County. Scott County is Lori Elam. And then up above, I don't have that map with me.
not a big deal if you.
May might be Dubuque or something like that, I'm not sure. But anyways, I just told him, I said, you know, I'll be retiring the end of the year, but if you want any data about Des Moines County, any of our services or our people, I'm available to talk, especially as you prepare for this RFP for our district. We sure want quality services here, so please feel free to reach out to me. And I haven't heard back from them yet, but I'm hopeful that we will. You know, anybody can respond to the RFP, could be a not-for-profit too, so we'll have to see who actually becomes the ASO. But I thought that's the only 2 that I know of who are gonna work together to respond to the RFP, so thought I'd reach out to them, and hopefully I'll get a response back and have some good dialogue. So that's about all for now, though. We're just
Thanks,
kind of
Shannon.
waiting. Yep.
Thanks. Shannon Prado, Emergency Management Director.
So the last couple of days, we've just seen some really high temperatures, so I'm gonna go ahead and open some cooling centers around Des Moines County. I did send out some notifications to the newspapers and local medias. Today, I will just update, Transitions did change their hours a little tiny bit. Yesterday, it was 12 to 8, today it's going to be 11 to 7. Otherwise, the library has opened their regular hours, and then the city of Minneapolis has graciously opened their city hall for anybody who needs to come in and cool off. But otherwise, hopefully, it will start to cool off the next couple of days. Looks like it's still gonna be warm tomorrow, but hopefully not as warm. We might see some storms tonight, but maybe not.
Thank you, Shannon.
Yeah.
You're having an interesting first year as emergency manager.
It has just been a year,
A little bit of
hasn't
everything.
it?
Krista Pogemiller, Public Health Director.
Good morning. We continue to keep busy with our immunization clinics, getting kids back to school and getting those immunizations done. The building, the new public health building is moving along nicely. We're talking about a ribbon cutting and hopefully a move early in October, so we're very excited about that. Last week, the FDA approved a new COVID booster. We do not have that at this point in time. We have ordered some, so hopefully in the near future we'll have that. So I would assume it'd be a couple of weeks before we have that available. But if people are interested, they can call our public health and we can let them know as it comes in.
Thank you, Krista. Ryan Carter, County Engineer.
Good morning. Plenty of stuff moving on. We'll talk about the bridges right now, at least the big ones that are closed. I finally got a chance to visit one of them yesterday. I was out of the office for a good portion of last week, and I'm getting to be skeptical that my end of September prediction is accurate. I think, unfortunately, I think at some point I'll be giving you more of a mid-October projection, so, or even a bit after on one of the other bridges. So that's not what we wanted, but things are just progressing a little slower than we anticipated, and if it happens to be that long, the contractor would be into liquidated damages, but that's just the way that goes. So Devin's gonna talk to the contractor today to get a better feel of it, and then maybe next week I'll be able to give you a little bit better projection. But not ideal, but that's the way it is. We'll probably retreat the detour route up and up for the 99 project with dust control again with some more chloride, since it's gonna be a little bit longer than we had hoped for. So just a heads up on that. We've been telling most people the end of September, so I'm guessing that'll shuttle back a little bit later. Other than that, there's a ton of stuff going on. I got a couple sets of plans that I'll get signatures from all three of you afterwards. These are for the 2 bridge decks that we're gonna do next summer, one on Danville Road and one on Gear, North Gear. So I'll get those signatures from you, and those are in the December letting. And we shuffled our asphalt jobs that we're planning on for next summer. We shuffled those back to the January letting. The DOT is gonna flex some funding that's been tightened down, I guess, restriction-wise for a while, and they're gonna flex it a little bit, which actually is a world of good for me, or for us, I guess we'll say. So we're gonna move back a month and gain some flexibility of some funds that we didn't have access to. So it doesn't change the project really, but it just, in my world, as far as bookkeeping, it makes it a whole lot better. So that's a good thing. And I wanted to mention that our rebuilt motor grader, our first one, has been in service now for at least 2 weeks. So obviously this time of year, when you get some moisture, you go blade, but you don't go blade when it's bone dry, or you just push, well, if you can avoid it, that'd be a better way to put it. So it hasn't been on the road a whole ton, but we have had it out, and Kat has asked us to use and abuse it when we have the opportunity to see if there's anything, make sure we don't have any issues with it. So we're happy with that. We have a great warranty with that too. It's a 6-year warranty that comes with that. So we have plenty of time to resolve any issues. The first year is bumper to bumper so it's everything's the first year. Then the 6th year doesn't cover quite everything, but either way, it's in service. So a couple of you guys saw that thing broken down to pretty much nothing but the frame, and I thought I'd let you know that that's going, and it sure looked good when it came back.
We got the next one, we got the other one down there now.
The other one is down there, and actually I'm taking Jim next week to have a chance to see the same thing that you guys saw and ask some of the questions, and just to see the general operation. So I've got that set up, so looking forward to that. I think Jim's looking forward to it also. So
Yeah.
it is down there, and by next week it'll be in very similar condition as when you guys were down there for the first one. So yeah, plenty of stuff moving along.
Thank you, Brian.
Yep.
Correspondence, did either of you gentlemen have any correspondence?
I did not, no.
Okay, proceed to discussion and vote. We have payroll reimbursement claims. In the amount of $55.02.
Motion to approve.
Second?
Sarah?
Shane McCampbell,
Aye.
Jim Carrey,
Yes.
Tom Broker.
Yes. And we have confirmation of election commissions to represent the state of Iowa on the Mid-America Port Commission. The confirmation of election of commissioners to represent the state of Iowa on the Mid-America Port Commission. Whereas the Mid-American Port Commission was created by a compact between the state of Iowa and the states of Illinois and Missouri, and whereas the Port Commission district includes the Iowa counties of Des Moines, Henry, Jefferson, Lee, Van Buren, and Wapello. And whereas the compact creating the Mid-America Port Commission directs the one commissioner from the state of Iowa shall be appointed by the governor, and whereas the compact further directs that 2 additional commissioners shall be elected by the chairpersons of the county commissions of these counties collectively. We therefore certify that the following individuals have been duly elected to fill any unfilled portion of the respective term or one full 6-year term as an MAPC commissioners for the state of Iowa. Emily Benjamin is duly elected to fill a full term of 6 years, formerly held by Denise Boyer, term ending June 30th, 2030. Rachel Lindeen is duly elected to fill the unexpired 5 years of the term formerly held by Shelley Oltmans, term ending June 30th, 2029.
Move to approve.
Second that.
Sarah?
Jim Carrey,
Yes.
Shane McCampbell,
Yes.
Tom Broker.
Yes.
I think that's a good addition to the Port Commission. I was going through my messages, I thought I couldn't understand him, I thought he said it was for the Pork Commission. I'm like, well, wait for the beat now.
I've still got that thing in my mouth. I'm gonna have it for another couple minutes, so maybe things will clear up around Thanksgiving. Okay, we have a Class C liquor license for the Traveling Sips Mobile Bar for 5 days, beginning September 28th through October 2nd, 2024. I suspect the sheriff is familiar with this.
Yeah, so I'm not familiar with this company, but everything's in order with the ABD, and then that's for the Beckman's Fall Market, and they always put on a great event and bring the community in for that, so everything looks in order.
Good. Thank you, Sheriff.
Motion to approve.
Second?
Sarah?
Shane McCampbell,
Yes.
Jim Carrey,
Yes.
Tom Broker.
Yes. And we have the annual renewal of the liquor license for the Yarmouth Filling Station Grill. I don't believe the sheriff has any issues with this.
No issues with the building station.
Move to approve.
Second.
Sarah?
Jim Carrey,
Yes.
Shane McCampbell,
Yes.
Tom Broker.
Yes. We have a personnel action for the Correctional Center. Holly Carpenter, a correctional officer, unpaid time of 17.07 hours.
Motion to approve.
Second?
Sarah?
Shane McCampbell,
Yes.
Jim Carrey,
Yes.
Tom Broker.
Yes. And we have minutes of the regular meeting on August 20th, 2024.
Motion to approve.
Second?
Sarah?
Shane McCampbell,
Yes.
Jim Carrey,
Yes.
Tom Broker.
Yes. Whoops. That grabs one every So, any other business?
I have none.
Last week, we had the work session on the reuse of the public health building, and you guys might have received the same email, and there is, somebody's got some interest. I think we need to have a meeting with the county attorney or somebody from that office. I know that there's instances where you need a closed session to deal with that and get squared away on that, but I did receive from at least one indication of interest. We will, I'll call the county attorney's office and see maybe when that would work out for them or what.
Okay.
Maybe they can, or maybe they can just write something up so we have an idea what we're, so
What
we
we
don't
need to do.
step on what we shouldn't step on.
Okay.
Any other business? Future agenda items. Committee reports.
I have community action before I left for ISAC, but we have low-income home energy assistance program is about to start back up again in October, so those that need to apply, that will start back up again for low-income home energy assistance program. That starts up again in October. The Embrace Iowa funds that we received, there were 66 applicants. Then to spend in the 23-24 spend down money, and it was for on beds, bed bug treatment, appliances, rent, eyeglasses, dental work, and tires. And then on the cash donations for the pantry, they're a little bit low. The pantries aren't as full as they have been, so looking to ramp back up on that. That's all I've got.
I had a regional planning executive board meeting. We had Jared and Zach give a presentation on the scoring process, on the process for the road, secondary roads.
SDBG.
Yeah, and it was quite interesting, find out how they get to where they're at, so I'm sure Brian understands it pretty much. And then he did send me a map of things that kind of reinforced what that boy said about the truck traffic going through Minneapolis, so I appreciated that, so thank you again. That's it.
Thanks, Jim. I also attended, all I had was I also attended ISAC, and there was some interesting, I learned some interesting things on wind turbines. Apparently there's places where foreign entities are buying those leases, some places in Iowa, and there's some concern about that, and some budgeting issues that some of the counties have, and ICAP versus other insurance coverage. And I always thought part of the difference was, and I think it is, a risk pool versus an insurance company. But apparently, insurance companies are occurrence-based. So if your insurance expires on December 31st, you rear-end a car, and you don't get a claim turned in until January, it's covered. But if it's claims-based, and you run into a car on December 31st, and you turn in the claim on January 1st, it's not covered unless you've signed up or, extended your coverage, or, so that was always the difference in ICAP, is when you use ICAP, it's hard to change. Because if you, a lot of times there'll be a claim that doesn't appear for days or weeks or months or even more. An insurance company, if it happened when you were covered, it's covered. But if it's ICAP and it's claims-based, it's not. So you have to buy look-back insurance. You have to buy more insurance if you change that. So I've always wondered exactly what they called that, but that's what it's called. There was some pushback on that, but they don't care. Anyway, I just thought that was interesting. Public input. If anybody from the public would like to address the board, you can email the Board of Supervisors at board@dmcounty.com. That's BOARD@dmcounty.com. Or you can call 319-753-8203, extension 4. That's 319-753-8203, extension 4. We'll give you a couple minutes to initiate that email or that call. And in the interim, does anybody in attendance have any comments or questions? Complaints? I'd like to throw that out there a little.
Thanks, Rodney.
I'm not really looking for complaints. If you got them, we'll listen. I was telling Krista, I drove around the public health building yesterday, and they finally started putting up that's Nietzsche, whatever that special siding that they've been waiting on. They'd started on the southeast corner. I like it. I was really glad to see it going up, and so it seems to be going up maybe easier than they thought. So there's the off chance they could be done by Friday with that. So that's I thought looked pretty good.
Good. Yeah, I think that'll definitely put the finishing touches on that building. I think that's the piece that'll kind of pull that all together, so I'm excited to see that.
So we'll make it look like a finished building. So anyway.
They seem to be moving a little faster than the city of Burlington getting that street open.
Well,
Yeah, I'm
I
not so
think
sure
we'll
that's
be
gonna
open
be
before
open
the
in
street
the
is.
meantime.
No doubt. I know, man.
Yeah.
It's those roads, people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, oh, I don't know if I mentioned an update, but the closure in Louisa County for what they call the K Road, but it's the road there at Newport Junction that goes east towards 99. That has, last I've heard, they've extended that out into October sometime. So that was supposed to be a month-and-a-half closure, and as I understand it, it's gotten quite a bit longer, so. I think that's a sign.
Me too.
That's how we all feel.
So seeing no further questions, with an eye, we're adjourned.
All right.
We are adjourned. Y'all have a great day.